Before this war's over, I'm going to kill you. Why wait? Soon.
Hollywood is known for its glamour, but sometimes the stars break the law, even on set. Today, we're looking at Hollywood stars who crossed the line while the cameras were rolling. We'll also uncover those who committed shocking crimes away from the set. From minor mishaps to serious offenses, these stories reveal the darker side of fame. Stay tuned as we explore these real-life dramas that shook Hollywood to its core.
What's your name, son?
Johnny.
Johnny, tell me what. You got a last name?
Johnny Harden.
What's your occupation?
I'm a gunfighter.
Alec Baldwin. Alec Baldwin is one of those faces you instantly recognize in Hollywood. He's known for his wide range of roles and strong screen presence. Alec first made waves in the late 80s and early 90s with movies like Beetlejuice in 1988, The Hunt for Red October in 1990, and Glengarry Glen Ross in 1992. But it was his comedic genius on 30 Rock that really stood out, earning him several Emmy Awards. His spot-on portrayal of Donald Trump on Saturday Night Live also made him a household name. Things took a dark turn for Alec on October 21, 2021, while filming The Western Rust in Santa Fe, New Mexico. During a rehearsal, Alec was supposed to point a revolver at the camera. Tragically, the gun went off, killing cinematographer Helena Hutchins and injuring director Joel Souza. Alec initially said the gun was supposed to be cold or has no live rounds and claimed he didn't pull the trigger. This incident sparked a legal nightmare. In January 2023, Alec and the film's armorer, Hannah Gutierrez Reed, were charged with involuntary manslaughter. The charges against Alec were dropped in April, but then refiled based on new evidence, including a ballistics report that contradicted Alec's claim. Prosecutors argued that Alec's lack of proper gun training and safety breaches on set played a part in the tragic accident. Alec's lawyers have consistently defended him, saying he relied on the crew to ensure the gun's safety. Despite these defenses, the case has sparked debates about on-set safety and actor responsibilities when handling firearms. As the legal drama continues, Alec and the Rust team face multiple civil lawsuits from Helena's family and others affected by the tragic event. Vince Vaughn. Vince Vaughn made a name for himself with hilarious roles in movies like Swingers in 1996, Wedding Crashers in 2005, and Dodgeball in 2004. With his tall frame and quick wit, Vince was a go-to guy for comedy in the 2000s. But his career hasn't been free of controversy. On April 12, 2001, while filming Domestic Disturbance in Wilmington, North Carolina, Vince got into a serious fight. It all started when Vince, Steve Buscemi, and screenwriter Scott Rosenberg decided to visit a local bar called the Firefly. What began as a casual night quickly turned chaotic, as local patrons didn't appreciate the Hollywood presence, leading to insults and rising tensions. Around 2:30 a.m., Vince and another guy went outside to settle their differences. They managed to shake hands, but then Timothy Fogarty, another bargoer, attacked Buscemi with a knife, causing severe injuries to his face, neck, and hands. Amid the chaos, Vince and Rosenberg got into fights with other locals, and both were arrested. They were charged with assault, but the charges were dropped after they agreed to stay out of Wilmington bars and attend alcohol counseling. Fogarty, the primary attacker, ended up with a jail sentence and probation. Despite the brawl, filming for Domestic Disturbance went on, though Buscemi had to take time off to heal. Vince's involvement in the altercation was a stark contrast to his usually funny on-screen persona, showing the unpredictable and often tough side of celebrity life. Sean Penn. Sean Penn, a two-time Oscar winner, is known for his intense roles in movies like Mystic River in 2003 and Milk in 2008. His talent is undeniable, but his personal life has been just as dramatic. In 1988, while shooting the police drama Colors in Venice Beach, Sean's temper led to a violent incident. During a break, an extra named Jeffrey Klein started taking photos of Sean and Robert Duvall. Already irritated, Sean swore at Klein, spat at him, and when Klein spat back, Sean punched him several times before crew members could pull him away. This was particularly bad for Sean since he was already on probation for previous assaults. His high-profile marriage to Madonna in the 1980s had put him in the public eye, and he had multiple arrests for attacking photographers and others. For the assault on Klein, Sean got a 60-day jail sentence, which he served after filming ended. Despite his legal issues, Sean's career continued to flourish, though his violent outbursts tarnished his reputation. The incident on the Colors set highlighted Sean's struggles with his temper and the pressures of fame, issues that have followed him throughout his life. Shia LaBeouf. Shia LaBeouf is one of those actors who's known just as much for his off-screen antics as his on-screen talent. You probably remember him from big movies like Transformers, Holes, and Disturbia. He's had a mix of big blockbuster hits and smaller indie films throughout his career. One of his standout roles was in The Peanut Butter Falcon, a touching story about a young guy with Down syndrome who dreams of becoming a wrestler. Shia's performance got a lot of praise, but things got a bit messy during filming due to his issues with substance abuse. On July 8, 2017, while filming The Peanut Butter Falcon in Savannah, Georgia, Shia got into some trouble. Early that morning, he was arrested for public drunkenness and disorderly conduct. It all started when a clearly drunk Shia asked a bystander and a police officer near Ellis Square for a cigarette. When they said no, he lost it, cursing loudly and attracting a crowd, including families with kids. The police tried to calm him down, but he took off into a nearby hotel. The cops followed him and arrested him in the lobby. Even then, he kept yelling, claiming he had more millionaire lawyers than you know what to do with. After his arrest, Shia was held for a few hours before being released on a $3,500 bond. He later called this arrest a bottom-barrel moment in his life and apologized deeply. Despite this hiccup, filming for The Peanut Butter Falcon continued, partly thanks to his co-star Zach Gottsagen. Shia said that Zach, who has Down syndrome, was like his cheerleader, keeping him focused on the movie despite his personal chaos. This wasn't Shia's first brush with the law, and it wouldn't be his last. In 2020, he faced charges of misdemeanor battery and petty theft after an argument with a man. He was also sued by his ex-girlfriend, musician FKA Twigs, who accused him of sexual battery, assault, and causing emotional distress. However, Shia's 2017 arrest was a turning point. After getting out, he went to rehab and started writing the script for Honey Boy, an autobiographical film about his troubled relationship with his father. The movie, directed by Alma Har'el, got great reviews and even won Shia a screenwriting award. During his acceptance speech, he thanked the Savannah Police Department for arresting him, saying it sparked his recovery. Shia's journey shows the tough side of fame and the personal battles many artists face. Despite his past troubles, he keeps working in the industry, with his talent still shining, even as he works on improving his personal life. Ryan Gosling. Ryan Gosling, the star of hits like The Notebook, Drive, and La La Land, is one of Hollywood's most beloved actors. He's known for taking on a variety of roles, showing just how versatile he is. But in 2011, while working on his first movie as a director, Lost River, Ryan had a run-in with the law under some strange circumstances. After wrapping up The Ides of March, directed by George Clooney, in Detroit, Ryan was inspired by the city's gritty look. He decided to stay in Detroit to film for Lost River, a story about a family struggling in a crumbling city. Armed with a digital camera, he wandered around abandoned buildings and factories, capturing the city's haunting beauty. Unfortunately, his activities caught the attention of the local police. One day, while looking for filming spots, Ryan was detained by the Detroit police. They thought he was trying to steal copper wire from one of the empty buildings he was filming. Even though he tried to explain that he was an actor and director working on a film, the police didn't believe him and arrested him. Ryan later talked about the incident, saying that while he wasn't proud of getting arrested, it gave him valuable insights for his movie. The arrest didn't stop Ryan's creative process. He used some of the footage he captured during his time in Detroit for the opening scenes of Lost River. The movie, released in 2014, was quite different from the mainstream films Ryan is known for, offering a strange and haunting story that reflected his experiences in Detroit. While Lost River got mixed reviews, the story of Ryan's arrest added an interesting layer to the film's background. His commitment to immersing himself in the environment he was portraying showed how dedicated he is to his craft. His experience, including his brief time in police custody, helped make the film's depiction of urban decay and struggle more real. Despite the challenges during Lost River, Ryan continues to be a successful figure in Hollywood. His arrest in Detroit shows just how far he's willing to go for his art, proving his dedication to authenticity in his projects. James Remar. James Remar is a veteran actor known for his wide range of roles in both TV and movies. With a career that spans decades, he's appeared in classics like The Warriors, 48 Acres, Sex and the City, and Dexter. But one of the most controversial moments in his career happened during the filming of the 1986 sci-fi hit Aliens, directed by James Cameron. Remar was originally cast as Corporal Hicks, a key character in Aliens. It seemed like a perfect fit, given his tough guy image and acting skills. However, his time on the film was cut short due to a major offset incident. While shooting in London, the police raided Remar's apartment and found heroin and hashish. He was arrested immediately, causing a big disruption to the film's schedule. This arrest was a serious setback for Aliens. Remar had already shot several scenes, and his sudden exit forced James Cameron to find a replacement quickly. Michael Biehn, who had worked with Cameron on The Terminator, was brought in to take over the role of Hicks. This change meant a lot of reshoots, with Biehn redoing the scenes that Remar had already filmed. Despite being fired, Remar still makes a brief, uncredited appearance in the film. If you look closely, you can spot him in a few wide shots that weren't reshot. This incident left a mark on both Remar's career and the production team. It also highlighted the tough balance of staying professional in the high-stress world of filmmaking. After his arrest, Remar faced big personal and professional challenges. The incident in London was a wake-up call, pushing him to tackle his substance abuse issues. He managed to rebuild his career, finding success in TV with roles in Sex and the City and Dexter, and movies like Django Unchained. Looking back, Remar has expressed regret for his actions and their impact on Aliens. He acknowledged the support he received from his colleagues and the chances he got to prove himself again. His journey from a near career-ending mistake to becoming a respected actor again shows the resilience and redemption possible in the entertainment world. Charlie Sheen. Charlie Sheen, originally named Carlos Irwin Estevez, is a Hollywood star known for both his talent and his scandals. His career took off in the 1980s with standout roles in Platoon and Wall Street, but it was his TV role as Charlie Harper in 2.5 Men that made him a household name. Despite his success, his personal life has often been chaotic and controversial. One of the most shocking moments happened during Season 7 of 2.5 Men. On Christmas Day 2009, Charlie's wife, Brooke Muller, called 911, claiming he had threatened her with a knife. In the call, you could hear the fear in her voice as she said, "I thought I was going to die for 1 hour." Charlie was arrested and taken to jail for second-degree assault, menacing, and criminal mischief. This incident had major consequences. Charlie was released on an $8,500 bond and later pleaded guilty. He was sentenced to 30 days in rehab, 30 days of probation, and 36 hours of anger management. This led to a temporary halt in the production of 2.5 Men, cutting the season short by 2 episodes. When Charlie returned to the show, his behavior remained unpredictable. He was often in the news for wild parties, substance abuse, and clashes with co-stars and producers. This all came to a head in 2 infamous interviews where he insulted the show's creator, Chuck Lorre, and made bizarre claims about curing his addiction with his mind. These actions led to his firing from the show, and Ashton Kutcher was brought in as his replacement. This period in Charlie's life was filled with legal problems, rehab visits, and media frenzy. His actions not only hurt his career, but also deeply affected those around him. Yet his story serves as a reminder of the intense pressure and pitfalls that come with Hollywood fame. Robert Downey Jr. Robert Downey Jr.'s career in Hollywood has been a roller coaster of great success and deep struggles. He started young in the 1980s, earning praise for movies like Less Than Zero and Chaplin. But in the 1990s, his battle with substance abuse became well known, leading to several arrests and rehab stays. One of the toughest times for Robert happened when he was on the TV show Ally McBeal. Joining the 4th season, Robert brought new energy to the show, even winning a Golden Globe and getting an Emmy nomination. But his personal issues soon caught up with him. In November 2000, Robert was arrested in Palm Springs for having cocaine and Valium at a spa. Despite this, the producers of Ally McBeal kept him on, hoping his talent would shine through. However, in April 2001, he was arrested again in Culver City for appearing to be under the influence while walking barefoot. This was the breaking point for the show's producers. After this second arrest, Robert was fired from Ally McBeal, and the team had to rewrite and reshoot many scenes without him. This was a low point for him, but it also marked a turning point. Realizing he needed help, Robert committed to beating his addiction. In an interview with Oprah, he shared his resolve, saying, "I don't think I can continue doing this," and I reached out for help. Since then, Robert has stayed clean and rebuilt his career to new heights. He became a global icon, playing Tony Stark in the Iron Man and Avengers movies. His story shows incredible resilience and the power of redemption even in the darkest times. Josh Brolin, famous for roles in No Country for Old Men, W, and the Avengers series, has had a career full of critical acclaim and some controversies. One notable incident happened in 2008 during the filming of the movie W, where Josh played President George W. Bush. After filming wrapped, Josh, his co-star Jeffrey Wright, and some crew members went to celebrate at the Stray Cat Bar in Shreveport, Louisiana. The night took a bad turn around 2 a.m. when police were called to the bar after a disagreement. Although Josh described it as just a verbal spat, the police response was harsh. Josh and Jeffrey, along with others, were arrested and charged with interfering with police officers. Things looked bleak until video footage showed the police using excessive force. The video showed Josh getting pepper sprayed and Jeffrey being repeatedly tasered, even though they weren't being violent. The video changed the narrative, suggesting the police overreacted because of the actor's celebrity status. Josh later reflected on this, worried about how regular people might deal with such situations without the means to fight back. "There was incredible violence in reaction to zero violence," he said, highlighting issues with law enforcement's response. Thanks to the video evidence, all charges against Josh and Jeffrey were dropped. Despite this troubling event, Josh's career continued to thrive, and he went on to secure major roles in big films. Ray Sharkey. Ray Sharkey was a talented actor, known for roles in The Idolmaker and the TV show Wise Guy. His career was rising in the 1980s, but his struggle with drug addiction overshadowed his success. In July 1992, while filming the TV series The Hat Squad in Vancouver, Ray's addiction caught up with him. Canadian Customs found small amounts of cocaine and heroin in a package sent to Ray from Los Angeles. A search of his hotel room turned up more drugs, leading to his arrest for possession. This arrest had immediate consequences. Ray was fired from the Hat Squad and replaced by Kim Coates. It was a significant blow to his already struggling career due to his addiction. Ray started acting at 17 after being inspired by a Broadway show. He studied in New York and made his film debut in The Lord of Flatbush. He appeared in over 40 films and many TV shows, but his addiction kept derailing his career and personal life. Ray's story is a sad reminder of how powerful addiction can be and the way it can ruin even the most promising careers. It shows the importance of seeking help and the challenges of overcoming substance abuse in Hollywood. 15 Hollywood stars who also committed crimes behind the cameras. Winona Ryder. Winona, born Winona Laura Horowitz, is a famous actress who's been in a bunch of amazing movies. You might know her from classics like Beetlejuice, Edward Scissorhands, Reality Bites, and Girl Interrupted. Lately, she's been getting a lot of praise for playing Joyce Byers in the super-popular Netflix show Stranger Things. Winona's journey in Hollywood started when she was pretty young, and she quickly became a big name. Fans love her for how she brings her characters to life, making them feel real and relatable. But in December 2001, Winona made headlines for something completely different: shoplifting. On December 12, 2001, Winona was arrested at the Saks Fifth Avenue store in Beverly Hills. She was caught taking items worth $5,560 without paying, which included a $760 Marc Jacobs cashmere sweater, $600 worth of Frederic Fekkai hair accessories, and several pairs of socks, like an $80 cashmere pair from Donna Karan. This incident surprised everyone. Winona was charged with grand theft, burglary, vandalism, and possession of controlled substances. During her trial, she was found guilty of grand theft, vandalism, and burglary. Her sentence included 480 hours of community service, 3 years of probation, and paying fines and restitution. This was a major turning point for Winona, both personally and professionally. For years, she stayed quiet about what happened, leaving everyone guessing. Finally, in a 2013 interview with Interview magazine, Winona opened up. She called the shoplifting incident a cry for help during a tough time in her life. She admitted she had been struggling and that the incident was a wake-up call that made her face her problems. Winona used the time after the incident to take a break from acting and rethink her life. This period helped her find balance and stability. She credits this experience with giving her the clarity she needed to move forward in a healthier way. Christian Slater. Christian is an actor who became famous in the late 80s and early 90s thanks to movies like Heathers, Pump Up the Volume, and True Romance. Known for his unique voice and charm, Christian quickly became a fan favorite. But his career has also seen its share of ups and downs, mostly due to his legal troubles and personal issues. In 1994, Christian had his first big legal problem when he was caught trying to take a gun onto a commercial plane. He ended up doing 3 days of community service for that. This was just the beginning of a rough period for him. In 1997, things got more serious. Christian was convicted of assaulting his girlfriend, Michelle, and a police officer while he was high on heroin, cocaine, and alcohol. He faced charges for 3 counts of assault and 1 count of battery. He was sentenced to 59 days in jail and had to go through a drug and alcohol rehab program. In 2005, Christian was arrested again in New York for allegedly grabbing a woman's behind on the street. The woman called 911, and he was charged with third-degree sexual abuse. He denied doing anything wrong, but the incident didn't help his public image. Despite all these issues, Christian has managed to keep his career going. He's been in many movies and TV shows, including a standout role in Mr. Robot, which earned him critical acclaim and a Golden Globe Award. Christian's ability to keep working despite his personal struggles shows his resilience and talent. Tim Allen. Tim, whose real name is Timothy Allen Dick, is a much-loved comedian and actor. He's famous for his roles in Home Improvement, the Santa Claus movies, and as the voice of Buzz Lightyear in the Toy Story series. But before he became a star, Tim's life took a serious hit with a big legal problem. In 1978, Tim was arrested at the Kalamazoo Battle Creek International Airport in Michigan for having over a pound of cocaine. He was just 23 and faced some heavy consequences. To get a lighter sentence, Tim cooperated with the authorities. Experience had a huge impact on Tim. He later said that being in prison taught him important lessons about responsibility and self-discipline. After he got out, Tim decided to go into comedy, eventually making a name for himself in stand-up before moving to TV in Michigan. His blood alcohol level was almost twice the legal limit. He got 1 year of probation and had to go to a rehab clinic. These incidents showed that Tim was still battling addiction issues. Despite these challenges, Tim found great success in Hollywood. Playing Tim Taylor on Home Improvement made him a household name, and his roles in the Santa Claus and Toy Story movies have made him a favorite among audiences of all ages. Tim's story is one of overcoming a troubled past to build a successful career. Amanda Bynes. Amanda is a former child star who got famous on Nickelodeon with shows like All That and The Amanda Show. Later, she moved to movies, starring in hits like What a Girl Wants, She's the Man, and Hairspray. But her promising career took a turn as she faced a series of legal and personal problems. Amanda's legal troubles started in April 2012 when she was arrested for DUI after hitting a police car in Los Angeles. Just days later, she was involved in another hit-and-run on the freeway, and then another similar incident a month after that. By September 2012, she was charged with 2 misdemeanor counts of hit-and-run, and her driver's license was suspended. Even with these incidents, Amanda kept denying she did anything wrong. But things got worse in May 2013 when she was arrested for allegedly throwing a bong out of a 36th floor window in New York City. She was charged with reckless endangerment, tampering with evidence, and having marijuana. Her odd behavior during this time worried her fans and the public. In September 2014, Amanda was arrested again for DUI. She failed a sobriety test and was released after posting a $15,000 bail. This was just the latest in a series of troubling incidents showing her struggles with mental health and substance abuse. These issues caused a big drop in Amanda's career. Her agent, publicist, and lawyer all dropped her, and she got fewer acting opportunities. But recently, Amanda has been trying to get better. She's enrolled in rehab programs and is working on her mental health. While Amanda's career has been overshadowed by her legal problems, her story highlights the intense pressures of fame and the importance of addressing mental health and addiction. It's a reminder of how crucial support and understanding are when facing such challenges. Matthew Broderick. His role as the fun-loving high schooler made him a favorite in Hollywood. Before this, Mark Wahlberg. Mark Wahlberg is famous for his roles in movies like Ted, The Departed, and Transformers. But before his Hollywood success, Mark's teenage years in Boston were filled with violent, racially motivated incidents that landed him in serious trouble. In 1986, at just 15, Mark and 3 friends were charged with chasing and throwing rocks at 3 black kids while shouting racial slurs. The next day, he harassed a group of mostly black kids at the beach, gathering other white men to join in the abuse. These actions led to a civil rights injunction against Mark and his friends. 2 years later, in 1988, things escalated when Mark attacked 2 Vietnamese men while high on PCP. He knocked out Than Lam with a stick and punched Johnny Trin in the eye, using racial slurs during the attack. Mark was charged with attempted murder, but pleaded guilty to felony assault, saying his actions were due to his drug use and not racially motivated. Due to his previous injunction, he was found in contempt of court and sentenced to 2 years in prison, though he served only 45 days. In 2014, Mark sought a pardon for the 1988 assault, expressing remorse and emphasizing his efforts to turn his life around. He later withdrew the request in 2016, acknowledging that he had done the work to make amends and hoped people would recognize his transformation. People have different views on whether Mark should be forgiven. Kristen Atwood, one of the children he attacked in 1986, believes he shouldn't be pardoned, arguing that fame doesn't excuse past actions. However, Johnny Trin, the Vietnamese man Mark attacked, has forgiven him, saying everyone deserves a second chance. Mark's troubled past still affects his career, especially when he speaks out on social issues. His history of violence and racism stands in contrast to his successful public image as an actor and producer, reminding everyone of his difficult journey from a troubled youth to a redeemed adult. O.J. Simpson. O.J. Simpson was once celebrated as a football star and actor, but now he's best known for his infamous murder trial in the 1990s. O.J.'s rise to fame began with his successful football career in the 60s and 70s, and he smoothly transitioned to acting with roles in movies like The Towering Inferno, Capricorn 1, and the Naked Gun series. However, his career and public image were forever tainted by the events surrounding the murders of his ex-wife, Nicole Brown Simpson, and her friend, Ronald Goldman. On June 12, 1994, Nicole and Ronald were found brutally stabbed outside Nicole's home in Los Angeles. O.J. quickly became the prime suspect. Instead of surrendering to the police, O.J. fled in a white Ford Bronco driven by his friend Al Cowlings, leading to a low-speed chase that was broadcast live and captivated millions of viewers. The ensuing trial, known as the Trial of the Century, became a massive media spectacle. It lasted for 16 months and was televised, drawing intense public interest and sparking debates about race, domestic abuse, celebrity, and justice. O.J.'s defense team, dubbed the Dream Team, included high-profile lawyers like Johnny Cochran and Robert Kardashian. The prosecution presented strong evidence, including blood, hair, and fibers, linking O.J. to the murders. However, the defense argued he was framed by racist police officers. One of the trial's most memorable moments was when O.J. tried on the blood-stained gloves found at the scene, declaring, "They're too small." This, along with Cochran's famous line, "If it doesn't fit, you must acquit," played a significant role in the jury's decision. On October 3, 1995, O.J. was acquitted of the murder charges, a verdict that divided public opinion. Many African Americans saw it as a victory against a biased legal system, while many white Americans were outraged, believing O.J. had gotten away with murder. Despite his acquittal, O.J. was later found liable for the deaths in a 1997 civil trial and was ordered to pay $33.5 million in damages. O.J.'s legal troubles didn't end there. In 2007, he was involved in an armed robbery in Las Vegas, trying to retrieve sports memorabilia. He was convicted and sentenced to 33 years in prison, but was granted parole and released in 2017. O.J. Simpson's life is a story of highs and lows, marked by athletic talent, Hollywood success, and a dramatic fall from grace. His tale continues to evoke strong emotions and debate about race, justice, and celebrity in America. Mickey Rourke. Mickey Rourke was a rising star in Hollywood in the 80s, known for movies like 912 Weeks, The Pope of Greenwich Village, and Angel Heart. His rugged looks and intense performances made him popular, but his career took a hit in the following decades due to poor film choices and personal issues. One of Mickey's notable legal troubles happened on November 8, 2007, when he was arrested for DUI in Miami, Florida. He was riding a Vespa scooter with a woman on the back early in the morning. He made an illegal U-turn in front of a cop, who then pulled him over. Mickey failed the roadside sobriety tests and had a blood alcohol level just above the legal limit. Even though the DUI was a minor offense, it attracted a lot of media attention because of Mickey's celebrity status and his history of erratic behavior. At the time, Mickey was trying to make a career comeback, having earned praise for his role in Sin City in 2005 and working on The Wrestler in 2008, a film that would later get him an Academy Award nomination. Mickey's legal issues and personal struggles have often overshadowed his work. Known for his tumultuous relationships, including a rocky marriage to actress Carrie Otis, Mickey's off-screen life has been as dramatic as his on-screen roles. His battles with substance abuse, run-ins with the law, and times away from Hollywood have all added to his complicated public image. Mel Gibson. Mel Gibson's career has seen some incredible highs and some deep lows. He first grabbed everyone's attention in the early 80s with his roles in the Mad Max series and Lethal Weapon. With his charming looks and rugged appeal, he quickly became a big name in action movies. He didn't just shine in front of the camera, he also wowed everyone behind it, bagging 2 Oscars for Braveheart in 1995. But his off-screen antics often took center stage, overshadowing his professional triumphs. Back in 1983, while filming Mrs. Soffel in Toronto, Mel had a run-in with trouble. He rear-ended another car because he was driving drunk, earning himself a 3-month driving ban. This was just the start of a series of controversies that would follow him throughout his career. In 1991, during an interview with the Spanish newspaper El País, Mel made some offensive comments about homosexuality, which caused a huge backlash from the LGBTQ+ community. His refusal to apologize, even when GLAAD confronted him over his portrayal of Edward II in Braveheart, only fueled the outrage. Winona Ryder later added more fuel to the fire, claiming that Mel made anti-Semitic and homophobic jokes at a Hollywood party in the 90s. She remembered him calling her an oven dodger, an anti-Semitic slur she hadn't heard before but later learned was highly offensive. Mel denied these allegations, but Winona's story stuck, leaving a dark mark on his reputation. The most infamous incident happened in 2006, when Mel was arrested in Malibu for drunk driving. During the arrest, he went on a tirade, making anti-Semitic remarks and blaming Jews for all the world's wars. This incident brought widespread condemnation, forcing Mel to issue several apologies, though his reputation was severely damaged. In 2010, things got worse when Mel's ex-girlfriend, Oksana Grigorieva, released audio recordings of him making abusive and racist comments. He was heard threatening her and using racial slurs, leading to a legal battle. Mel pleaded no contest to a misdemeanor battery charge, resulting in probation, community service, and anger management counseling. All these controversies, coupled with his issues with substance abuse and legal troubles, have left a significant dent in Mel's legacy. Despite his attempts to make amends and his continued work in the industry, these shadows of his past still linger, casting a long shadow over his career. Ezra Miller. Ezra Miller, who's known for roles in movies like We Need to Talk About Kevin and the Fantastic Beasts series, has become a big name in Hollywood. But lately, their career has been overshadowed by a series of troubling incidents and legal issues that have raised many eyebrows. The first major incident came in 2020, when a video showed Ezra appearing to choke a woman at a bar in Iceland. Although no charges were filed, it made people worried about Ezra's behavior. Unfortunately, this was just the beginning. In March 2022, Ezra was arrested in Hawaii for disorderly conduct and harassment after a karaoke bar incident. They reportedly got upset when people started singing karaoke, yelled obscenities, and ended up getting arrested. Just a few weeks later, they were arrested again in Hawaii for allegedly throwing a chair at a woman, causing a cut on her forehead. These events painted a picture of increasingly erratic and aggressive behavior. Things got even more serious when Ezra was charged with felony burglary in Vermont in August 2022. They were accused of breaking into a house and stealing several bottles of alcohol. Combined with their previous arrests, this incident showed a star in deep trouble. On top of this, Ezra faced serious accusations from the parents of Toccata Iron Eyes, a young activist. They claimed Ezra had an abusive relationship with their daughter, involving violence and manipulation. The parents even sought a protective order, adding more scrutiny to Ezra's actions. Despite these issues, Ezra has continued to work in Hollywood, including their role as The Flash in the DC Extended Universe. At The Flash premiere in June 2023, Ezra publicly acknowledged their scandals and thanked DC Studios co-chairs for their support. This was one of the few times they directly addressed their legal and personal troubles. Ezra's ongoing legal battles and concerning behavior have seriously damaged their public image. While their talent as an actor is clear, these controversies have left big questions about their future in the industry and their personal well-being. Macaulay Culkin. Macaulay Culkin won hearts worldwide playing Kevin McAllister in the Home Alone series. In the early 90s, he became one of the most famous child stars ever. But as he grew up, Macaulay faced a lot of personal challenges and legal issues that were a far cry from his innocent on-screen persona. In September 2004, Macaulay got arrested in Oklahoma City for having marijuana and other controlled substances without a prescription. He was a passenger in a car stopped for speeding. During the search, police found marijuana and several prescription pills. He was charged with 2 misdemeanors and released on a $4,000 bond. This arrest highlighted the struggles Macaulay faced transitioning from child star to adult. Despite telling interviewers he didn't have a substance abuse problem, the arrest and subsequent legal issues suggested otherwise. The intense fame and public scrutiny certainly added pressure to his already tumultuous personal life. Before these legal problems, Macaulay had already stepped back from acting to lead a more normal life. This decision strained his relationship with his father, who had managed much of his career. Their tension led to complete estrangement, making Macaulay's personal life even more complicated. Despite these hurdles, Macaulay worked hard to rebuild his career and personal life. He took roles in several indie films and TV shows, including a praised role in Saved in 2004. Macaulay also explored other creative outlets like writing and podcasting, trying to reshape his public image and move past his troubled past. Macaulay's journey is a reminder of the pressures child stars face as they grow up. While his early career was incredibly successful, his struggles with substance abuse and legal issues show how tough it can be for child actors to maintain their personal and professional lives as they get older. Ryan O'Neal. Ryan O'Neal, famous for movies like Love Story and Paper Moon, has had a career filled with highs and lows. While his performances won him acclaim, his personal life has been full of conflict and controversy, especially with his family. In February 2007, Ryan was arrested for assaulting his son Griffin during a heated argument at his Malibu home. The fight got so intense that Ryan allegedly fired a handgun. Though Griffin wasn't hit by the shot, Ryan was charged with assault with a deadly weapon and negligent discharge of a firearm. He spent 5 hours in custody before being released on a $50,000 bond. This incident showed the long-standing, tumultuous relationship between Ryan and Griffin. Griffin, who had his own legal troubles and substance abuse issues, often clashed with his father. Their rocky relationship was public, with both airing grievances and accusations against each other. Ryan's personal life had other challenges too. He was diagnosed with a chronic form of leukemia, requiring ongoing treatment. He also faced emotional strain while supporting his longtime partner, Farrah Fawcett, during her battle with cancer. Farrah's illness and death in 2009 added more personal struggle for Ryan. Despite these personal issues, Ryan has continued acting, taking roles in TV and film. However, his career never fully bounced back from the controversies and personal battles that plagued him. The O'Neal family's public disputes and legal issues show the complex pressures of life in the spotlight. Ryan's story, like many others, highlights the difference between Hollywood's glamour and the personal struggles that can lie beneath. Stephen Baldwin. Stephen Baldwin, the youngest of the Baldwin brothers, is well known for his roles in movies like The Usual Suspects and TV shows like The Young Riders. Born on May 12, 1966, Stephen kicked off his acting career in the late 1980s and quickly gained recognition for his performances. Over the years, he became a familiar face in Hollywood, taking on various roles in both movies and TV. Besides acting, Stephen is also recognized for his conservative political views and activism, even starting a conservative talk radio show in 2008. However, Stephen's life took a surprising turn when he was arrested for not filing New York State personal income tax returns for 3 years. This came to light due to an investigation by the Rockland County Special Investigations Unit and the New York State Department of Taxation and Finance. Authorities claimed that Stephen owed over $350,000 in taxes, penalties, and interest for the years 2008, 2009, and 2010. His arrest was a big deal, as he faced a state felony charge. The charges indicated that his failure to file returns and pay taxes had serious financial implications for Rockland County and New York State, impacting local government agencies and schools. District Attorney Thomas P. Zugibe emphasized the seriousness of the matter, stressing that it was unacceptable for wealthy residents to evade taxes, especially during tough financial times. Despite the serious charges, Stephen pleaded not guilty at his arraignment in Nyack, New York. He was released on his own recognizance, meaning he wasn't considered a flight risk. Stephen's lawyer, Russell M. Yankwit, argued that Stephen didn't intentionally commit any crimes. According to Yankwit, Stephen relied on paid professionals to manage his finances, especially when he was busy with projects like filming the reality TV show Survivor. Yankwit also mentioned that Stephen had fully cooperated with the year-long investigation leading to his arrest. Stephen admitted he owed money to the government, but insisted there was no intent to deceive. To show good faith, Stephen provided a check for $100,000 as a down payment on what he owed. The defense aimed to settle the case by negotiating the total amount, hoping for a figure between the $100,000 already paid and the $350,000 claimed by the state. The legal proceedings against Stephen continued, with a court date set for February 5th. Stephen and his lawyer hoped that ongoing cooperation with the state would lead to a resolution. If convicted of the felony charge, Stephen faced up to 4 years in state prison. This case highlighted the importance of complying with tax laws and the severe consequences of failing to do so. Danny Trejo. Danny Trejo's life story is one of incredible transformation. Born on May 16, 1944, Danny grew up in a tough Los Angeles neighborhood and quickly got involved in a life of crime. As a kid, he was already engaging in various illegal activities, influenced by his uncle who showed him the ropes of street life. By age 10, Danny had his first run-in with the law, leading to multiple imprisonments for assault, theft, and drug-related crimes. Danny's criminal activities escalated, and he spent many years in and out of prison. During his time behind bars, he earned a reputation as a tough guy, managing contraband operations and collecting debts. He also took up boxing, gaining respect among fellow inmates. But in 1968, while in solitary confinement at Soledad State Prison, Danny faced a turning point. With the possibility of the death penalty hanging over him for his involvement in a prison riot, Danny embraced sobriety and committed himself to a 12-step program. After his release, Danny dedicated his life to helping others overcome addiction. He became deeply involved in drug rehab programs, working as a counselor and mentor to those struggling with substance abuse. His shift from a life of crime to one of service and redemption marked a significant transformation. Danny's entry into acting was unexpected. While working as a youth counselor, he visited a film set to support a young man battling addiction. There, he was recognized by a fellow ex-convict who was working as a screenwriter. This chance encounter led to Danny being offered a role as an extra in the film Runaway Train. his natural talent and tough demeanor caught the attention of filmmakers, and soon, more acting opportunities came his way. Danny's distinctive look and commanding presence made him a sought-after character actor in Hollywood. He appeared in numerous films and TV shows, often playing tough and gritty characters. Some of his notable roles include Heat, Con Air, Desperado, and Machete. He also made memorable guest appearances on popular TV shows like Desperate Housewives, King of the Hill, and Alias. Despite his success in Hollywood, Danny never forgot his roots. He continued to give back to his community through various charitable activities. Danny often spoke at schools and prisons, sharing his story of redemption and encouraging others to make positive changes in their lives. His journey from a life of crime to a respected actor and community advocate is a testament to the power of personal transformation and the impact of second chances. Lane Garrison. Lane Garrison, born on May 23, 1980, is best known for his role as David Tweener Apolskis on the hit TV series Prison Break. This Texas native started his acting career in the early 2000s and quickly made a name for himself with his talent and charm. Lane's performance in Prison Break earned him a loyal fan base and opened more doors in the entertainment world. He appeared in movies like Crazy and Shooter, and even made a guest appearance on the TV series Night Stalker. But Lane's rising career took a tragic turn on December 2, 2006. That night, he was driving a 2001 Land Rover with 3 passengers, 17-year-old Vahagan Setyan and 2 15-year-old girls. After drinking, Lane lost control of the vehicle and crashed into a tree on South Beverly Drive in Beverly Hills. The crash led to Vahan's death, while the 2 girls survived with injuries. This accident had serious legal consequences for Lane. He was charged with vehicular manslaughter without gross negligence, driving under the influence causing injury, and providing alcohol to a minor. In May 2007, Lane pleaded guilty to these charges, admitting he had a blood alcohol level of 20 at the time of the crash, which was more than twice the legal limit. In October 2007, Lane was sentenced to 40 months in prison. He served half of his sentence and was released on parole in April 2009. The accident and the following legal troubles had a huge impact on Lane's life and career. He expressed deep regret for his actions and the tragic loss of life his reckless behavior caused. Despite trying to rebuild his career after his release, the incident continued to overshadow his professional and personal life. Lane's legal issues didn't end there. In April 2012, he was arrested again, this time on charges of felony domestic violence after an alleged altercation with his ex-girlfriend in Beverly Hills. He was taken into custody after returning to the scene the next day, which resulted in a parole violation, complicating his legal situation further. Lane's repeated legal troubles highlighted the challenges he faced in overcoming his past and maintaining stability in his personal life. Despite showing promise as an actor, the consequences of his off-screen actions continued to pose significant hurdles. Lane's story serves as a powerful reminder of how personal choices can greatly impact both professional success and personal well-being.